Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. As I was reading about the Declaration of Independence having a trigger warning, I found this. I think the camera is... Yep. Yeah, I think that's better. I found this, and I thought, what in the actual fuck? What the fuck is going on with the world? I think the communists are having their field day. Socialists or whatever, they're fucking morons, because this is absolutely fucking insane. Even more so to the foundation that actually has the name of the guy from Reclaim the Net. Winston Churchill Foundation Trust backtracks after removing Churchill photos from its website. Imagine being so triggered by the actual hero who stopped socialist civil war. Yeah. I'm actually kind of joking in regards to the Civil War, but if you think about it, it kind of is. National Socialism. Socialism. Communists. Soviet Russia. Communist, aka Socialism. Italy. Fascism. Socialism. So, socialism fighting socialism fighting socialism. If you think about it, it's kind of retarded. And then this guy steps in, stops the advance of one socialism. And here we have it, folks. Anyway, the Winston Churchill name will also be removed and replaced with just Churchill Fellowship. Honk, 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 honk. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna have to find a sound bite with a honk. It's getting way too common. It's way too common. Jesus Christ, motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. Anyway. The Winston Churchill Memorial Trust has been criticized for removing images of Sir Winston Churchill from the website and changing the name to remove Winston Churchill's name. Imagine being triggered by... No. Was it a Stormcock behind this? Because the only people I think will get triggered of it... Oh yes, there's the SJW. So, then again, Stormcocks and SJW, same shit, different bag. So, Anyway, let's go. Wait, where was I? Oh, and remove Winston Churchill's name. The Winston Churchill Memorial Trust is now known as Churchill Fellowship. Why? And its website has been updated to remove photos of the UK wartime leader. The guy who actually fucking stopped the goddamn Nazis, the actual Nazis. The guy who stood up against fucking Soviet Russia. And it was only an ally out of convenience during the World War II, and nobody had the actual will to continue the fight, so we had the Cold War. This guy you want to get triggered with? Are you fucking retarded? What's their excuse this time? However, after the condemnation from number 10 Downing Street and others, well, that's a miracle coming from number 10 Downing Street, I pretty much thought you would be on board with this. The way that Boris Johnson, which was a fellow shitposter, now it's a goddamn woke idiot. Anyway, and Churchill's images were quickly added back to the website. However, the removal of the name Winston Churchill will remain, the organization said, alleging that it wasn't trying to remove history of Churchill, but instead said that the previous name established in 1965 was confusing. Wait, how is that confusing? What was it? Let's see. Was it confusing? Winston Churchill Memorial Trust. To Churchill Fellowship. How is that confusing? Can somebody explain to me how is this confusing? Because I'm having difficulty trying to understand why it was confusing. Can you explain to this filthy foreigner here? Why is that confusing? Because I'm having issues. Trust me, a lot of issues in this. Anyway, after Sir Winston died in 1965, an outpouring of grave donations and grateful people who wished to honor Britain's thought to be greatest ever premier led to the charity's founding. I have to agree with this. Him and Margaret Thatcher. Those two are pretty much the greatest of the greatest leaders. Pretty close to Victorian age in Britain with Queen Victoria. Those people were the greatest of the greatest. I'm thinking a few other leaders even backing more and more through time that Britain had. And I'm feeling a bit sad to see Britain, great Britain, being relegated to Britain. On its website, it said that the views of the wartime PM on race were unacceptable. Today, a view we share. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's woke. In a woke storm that has ignited outrage towards Julia Weston, the charity is $100,000 a year chief. Oh, that explains it. Diversity hire, probably. And the charity has changed its name to to Churchill Fellowship and removed Sir Winston's picture from its website. Who thought it was a good idea to hire this person? Who are okayed with this? Are you fucking retarded? And you are paying way too much for a chief executive who actually managed to change the actual foundation's name from the greatest person to ever rule Britain? Why? It was noted by volunteers that the charity was rewriting history. I agree with them. Noting that the former PM has been voted as the greatest Britain more than once. I agree. That guy was amazing. Anyway, today the charity was chastised for removing his initial name and his photo from its website homepage. What a wonderful world we live in. It's a clown world, and it's not even that funny. Ah, for fuck's sake. Afterwards, they reversed course. Oh my god, we got so much backlash. Oh, reverse course. Later on, we're gonna do interchange. We're gonna stealth it. They reversed course, restoring his image while holding on to the name change and claiming Churchill's grandchildren's consent. I'm starting to doubt that. I'm pressing X to doubt that. Hashtag X. In a statement, the trust said, we did so not because we did not so because we're disowning Winston, but because of the many years we have found that in a simple practical sense, the name was confusing to people and did not explain what we do. We are using that retard over there as a reason to change and peddle all woke nonsense. Ian Duncan Smith, the former Tory leader, spoke with a Mail Online before Churchill's image was restored. Quote, I think this is ridiculous. It was set up as the Winston Churchill Trust. It's definitely not even slightly confusing. He is the most popular British person to have lived in poll after poll. I agree. That name represents so much. Quote, what we are left with here is another group of individuals who fail to recognize the most important thing Church said was, which is that those who sit in judgment of the past will lose the future. Exactly. Quote, without him, they would not be sat here. They would not be sat where they are making these ridiculous decisions. They need to think about that for a second and recognize quite how ridiculous what they are doing will appear to the wider British public, who are proud of what Winston Churchill achieved, and find out this process of judging historical figures an absurdity, end quote, he stated. I wholeheartedly fucking agree with his statement. I think a lot of people in there in Britain must be feeling embarrassed with what is happening in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and other overseas territories of Britain. They must be feeling quite embarrassed. I definitely would, and I think at least Count Dankula is feeling quite embarrassed, and Pat Condell, God, that guy is awesome. He must be also feeling embarrassed over this as well, because let's face it, why is England trying to out-Sweden? Isn't England supposed to be the guys who stood up against the Viking invasion, who fought multiple wars and stood on their ground proud, even during the goddamn socialist invasion of not only from Nazi Germany, but the communist Russia? It was there. It stood up to the test of time. Stood there on the beaches, on the mountains, and it stood up there. It stood. And now it resumes to death. Why? Why? What the fuck is going on? I'm feeling very disturbed as of late. Really, trigger warnings for the US Constitution and Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence and this. And then we have this. Taking out Winston Churchill Trust. Fun. Trust. I'm feeling sad. Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you, Jeremy Clarkson, another Great Britain. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button if you definitely want more of my beautiful face, and a notification when my beautiful face is available for you to enjoy. I'm sad. Oh, and you stay right here if you want more of this. So, youtube.com/Dr. Jester. On that bombshell, have a great fucking night, because I definitely won't. I'm feeling very sad to see two great countries falling apart like this. It is hard. Really sad.